So everyone loves an old school dinner of just meat and potatoes. But the problem is, laying down that 20 bucks for a fat T-bone steak is something I only let myself do every once in a while. The rest of the time I make do with the lesser cuts of meat by using a little trick that I was reluctant to try at first. If you take the meat and you marinate it in Coca-Cola about an hour before you cook it, it will taste great. You won't taste the Coke, but it will break down the tougher cuts and make them so tender and so good. So let's get started.
Action.
Oh, hello there. You caught me just whittling my spoon.
Let's get to it.
You use a freaking stove!
So vary it up, see what you like, and enjoy. So for this dish, you'll need some baby potatoes, the nicest cut of meat that you feel comfortable buying. I've gone ahead and marinated this in the Coca-Cola already. And try to stay away from the stewing beef or the thinly sliced fast fry fajita pieces. Those are great, but they just don't suit our needs today. And you can even feel free to ask the butcher. I'm sure he or she will be more than willing to help you find what you're looking for. And then you can also use some of your favorite dried herbs. Today I'm using rosemary, and then I threw in some salt and pepper. To start off, preheat your oven to about 400 degrees and then cut your baby potatoes in half. Once those are in the bowl, add a glug of olive oil, your dried herbs, and then mix it all together. Next, take your potatoes and spread them out across a baking sheet. You're going to want to bake these for about 45 minutes to an hour, checking them and turning them about every 15 minutes. At the end, you can test them with a fork, and if they're soft, you know they're done. Next, heat a frying pan over about medium-high heat. Then put your steak in. Now resist the urge to touch this and turn the heat up or press it down to make it cook faster. Depending on the thickness of your steak, it should take about 3 or 4 minutes for each side. So after you take your meat off of the heat, you're going to want to let it rest on a cutting board for a couple of minutes. Now the reason we do this is because the heat shocks all the moisture in the meat and it goes into the center. So if you let it rest on a cutting board, it allows the moisture to distribute throughout the whole piece of meat. After you take your potatoes out of the oven, just serve them up with your meat. You could even decide to steam up some veggies if you choose. This meal is simple, it's good, and it'll remind you of home.